do that. They did that. And
Well,
I
that's
love
what's going
that
to work out
about
for
that
it.
because talk about taking the initiative to set yourself apart. That was it.
What is up, everyone? This is Paige.
Wait, you can't do that.
Wait, what? I'm gone for 1 week and Josh is all trying to take my spot. I got one
What
thing
is
on this
up?
podcast, one thing, and
One
that is
thing.
what is up, everybody? I am super excited to be back. I've missed
Eh.
you as much as you've missed me. We have, as always, an amazing podcast for you. And we have our lovely co-host. We have Josh, who's high AF winter. Smoke is arising around him. We have Cody, the absolute worst.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name right now. And of course, myself, Paige. I'm being super petty tonight. I don't know why.
Wow.
I'm just in that mood. But we have a
Wow.
lovely show for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about application. We put out a team application for Jammers in the Rough, and we had a lot of applications. And so we're purposely keeping it small this year. So we're going to dive into that. But Cody, Josh, what I missed last week? You going to catch me up?
You don't even know my
Uh,
name.
It's
I mean, it was kind of a shit show. Cody found some magical pill in a drawer, took it, and then he didn't know how to reset his internet. Fill in
No,
the blanks.
no,
Then he can
no,
fill in the blanks there.
no. I had injured my neck. We found a muscle relaxer in the medicine cabinet. I took said muscle relaxer. It relaxed me. It also soothed the soul. My internet worked. Josh, his internet ended up kicking him out of his own feed. I had to go solo for a little bit, Han style.
well, all I know is whatever you did last week gave Josh the courage to try to pull his Joe Rogan experience here and go full up in smoke. So, Cody, I'm gone for 1 week and you just okayed drugs on our podcast, and I'm not
No,
okay with that.
no. I mean,
That's just
Snoop
no. That's
Dogg up there. Look at him. He just, I don't know if he's vaping or what.
What's your name on here? What's your name? What's that say?
That. Oh, wait, you can switch my name.
Oh,
I
is
did.
that
I
that?
think I did last week say something about Daddy, and Jerry Ann has
Yeah.
not let me forget it yet. So
Oh, I like that. So I will talk about the applications, guys. Can I say how disappointed I am? And we asked a question, and the majority, where it was like the question was like, "Who is the worst?" And we just need to know that you guys listen, right? But everyone said Paige. A few people said Cody, and I was really disappointed with that. And not a gosh darn soul said Josh, and I don't know what the hell is up with that. But out of all of
see,
our applications, I don't know why I got dragged so hard when I'm the reason you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, that must be it. That must be it. You know what? It pays off to be a nice guy, Paige. Take a hint. Take a hint.
Are you just like messing with Cody at this point? We're gonna
I
be
don't
all
even
No,
know anymore.
I think he was trying to change his name back and then like freaked out and
Don't
backed out.
exactly. All
Yeah.
I know, Paige, is the people have spoken. You, my friend, are the worst.
They just know I'm inside on the joke. Is all. It's all
Yeah,
what it
okay.
is. There's nothing but love for me, and that's all I could appreciate at this point in life. So, thank you
Yeah.
guys for thinking about me in your team applications. Unfortunately, we couldn't accept everybody. I do want to make that note that out of all of our applications, we were only trying to select a very small amount because we already have 3 people on the team. Right? 1, 2, 3-ish people on the team.
Are we
That we
considered on the team?
no, you don't.
No.
Like I told you this, you don't sponsor yourself. It's bad look. We sponsor other people. We
But do
talked
we
about this,
throw
Cody.
disc? I'm
I
very
mean,
confused.
I throw discs. I throw discs
But
good.
do we have any discs that say Jam? Why don't we have anything that says Jammers?
We're gonna get there. God, what? Why don't we, Cody? You're part of this podcast as well. Why don't we
Oh,
have our swag
Cody.
and merch? We've talked about this in depth, so you should have the answer, Cody.
I just show up late.
Here.
I just show up late and
Up
start
in
talking.
center.
Up
Yeah,
and
hey,
center.
I'm not-
Answer your question,
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
I don't
Let's hear
know.
it, Cody.
I mean, I'm not in charge of money. I'm not. I wear shorts to work.
I'll let you freezes again.
I'm barely employed.
I'm barely
Um,
employed. I wear shorts.
And
Yeah,
so,
that's my answer for everything.
because we're not greedy and trying to profit off what we're doing, is the short answer.
We're selling belt
Um,
buckles for $600.
That's TSA. They're wild with it. They just got to win this weekend. So congrats to Maria
Woo!
Oliveira. Good song tonight. That was huge comeback win because I was looking at it and Jen Allen had a 9-stroke lead at one point, and to keep their head down and keep pushing was a huge victory because it's not an easy course, especially with a course that might like cater to Jen Allen's arm. So I was here for that, and that was super exciting. So congratulations to TSA member, and they have hopefully a disc coming. I don't know what was the Josh. You'd be the person they were announcing. Was it like a construct or whatever?
Yeah, the construct, ethereal. Let's see. It's like
Aliva.
a.
I just can't talk tonight. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm getting
yeah.
corrected in
That's
the chat.
Good.
yeah. Who has her on the draft? Hmm.
Oh, that was an A tier. No one counts A
Yeah,
tiers on
I
our
understand.
drafts.
It's just my player is just flexing. That's all I'm saying. Just showing you what the season's gonna look like
Don't be like that.
all season long. I'm gonna be like that.
Don't be petty.
Just
I mean, doesn't Cody have equal? There's a flex.
who?
I have no idea. The only person I know is still on my team is Tatar. That's it, because I picked her first. The rest of my team, I don't know.
Oh man, you guys
Didn't
are
I pick
wild.
Barella and you made fun of me? I can't even remember.
See,
Oh,
Paige, we need to talk about your solid first round. We will. We're gonna let Paige talk about the team first, but then we'll have him talk about what happened at the goat, hanging out with some goats.
I'm not ready to talk about what happened to the goat. I'm ready to
Well, don't
forget
worry,
what
you got
happened
some
at the
time.
goat.
You got some
Oh,
time.
we're gonna talk
But
about
no,
it.
so we're talking about our team applications before, of course, we were derailed by Cody, being Cody. So we're being intentional this year. Next year, our goal is to have more team members on there, but we wanted to keep it small. So we have about 5 to 6 members on our team. We've already announced our members that were kind of pre-existing carryover, which is Colin Hayden, Dallas Garber, Jamie Lee Moore, are our 3 that we announced over the couple weeks before our application leading up to it. And so the reason we highlighted those 3 individuals and they didn't have to submit an application was because they're already doing so much work locally and with me that it just made sense to, instead of, because they were like, all 3 of them were like, I'm ready to slap Team Paige on my back. And I was like, no, we're going to do Team Jammers in the Rough because we want to grow our podcast. And this is what we're about because ideally,
And others. And
and
others.
others, but
Mm.
ideally, we're trying to grow mutually with people. So when we brought in the sponsors for our podcast, it wasn't to try to profit for ourselves. It was literally, can we help Black Vinyl Discs grow? Can we help Rare Air Discs grow? Soul Crusher, Terminal Velocity, CH Sports. It's all about growth and mutually. And so our 3 sponsors were just that, and it's been proven to help each other grow. And so we made it formal. So then we opened up the application, and I really enjoyed our questions because at the heart of it, what we're trying to do as sponsors is tailor our package specifically for the individuals. So when Jerry Ann accepted our team slots, um, and became a team member, we sat down with them and are going to sit down with them to tailor what it is we're going to do specifically for them and how we can support them grow. When was it Ryder? What's their first name?
Jeremy?
Jeremy,
Jeremy. Thank you.
are you like forgetting everything tonight?
I'm
What is
I'm terrible
happening?
with names tonight. I'm just terrible with names
You
tonight.
don't even know my name.
Exactly. I'm just so when we accepted Jeremy Ryder onto the team, we loved his application, and we are looking forward to that conversation where we can help support them grow as a professional. And lastly, Jason Harden Jr. He was like 2011 Junior World Champ. It's like the one thing he did. Um,
Is that a
and
backhanded compliment? Goodness. The
but
only
based on
one
his
thing he does.
application and acceptance on the team, it was that same idea of like, how can we help this individual grow to the best of their abilities, as well as helping jammers in the group. So, for all of the applications that were in there, there was a lot of good answers. I think we were at 30 or like 25, 30, somewhere around there applications. And so we accepted roughly about 10% of them with the idea of being intentional. That doesn't mean we're not going to accept more halfway through the year, especially if like these first 5 are going to be extremely successful. Our first 6 are going to be extremely successful. then that would encourage us to invite more. But as we start to grow Jammers in the Rough, we're going to start to like make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with the right individuals and sponsors. And so that's why and how we chose that. I don't know if Josh or Cody, if you guys want to say anything on top of that, or
No,
or
that about sums it up. That's we went through them all. Like everyone had great answers, and it's hard to narrow it down just to only a couple. Um, but we're growing. We're growing every single episode. We get more and more viewers, and as we grow, we can expand it out. And I'm super excited with the group we have going forward, and seeing how we can make them better, make us better, make everyone around us better, and just disc golf in general grow the sport. Let's do it.
yeah. And with that, of course, swag is to come, and our goal isn't to profit off of any swag, right? So it's like if we spend $20 on sweatshirts, it's usually going to be like $22 plus shipping or something, so that money can go into the pool to support our sponsored players. Like we're not here to make money. We all have full-time jobs. We're all doing like, I mean, he's a PE teacher, but he's still doing all right for himself. Like, I mean, he does GoFundMe's like once or twice a month, but that's Cody. So our goal is to continue to do that. So we will have stamped discs. We will, of course, continue giveaways. And I think it was like 4 or 5 episodes. You guys saw me rocking a shirt. We're going to try to get a couple samples so that we can get the best quality shirt out there. And of course, team stamps. I think everybody loves team stamps. So I'm going to work with Mike Kemp and Black Final Dies to get some of our lovely sponsored players team stamps.
I like this idea. A Jerry Ann Jammers stamp disc with her crushing a bottle of maple syrup. I can
like
see it.
that.
I can see it
There's
in my
gotta be
head
some
already.
sort of Canadian thing we could do.
Speaking of Canadian things that we can do, are we
But wait,
are we doing the giveaway here, or are we going to do it afterwards? I couldn't remember on the messages.
Afterwards.
Okay.
Afterwards. Yeah. We have seen a lot of our northern friends come into the chat to viewing these episodes, and so love seeing that. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for the support.
And of course,
now
we're
there's
looking,
a lot of flag stamp disc. How come there's no Canadian flag stamp disc?
because there's only like 30 people in Canada that play disc golf.
No, it's
Wow.
growing. No,
Wow.
it's
I'd rock
getting
a
bigger and
Canadian
bigger.
flag. I'd rock a Canadian flag.
Just
Hell yeah.
you are petty tonight.
I told you,
Petty.
P for petty. I'm
You're
forgetting
making fun of
people's
whole
names.
countries.
Yeah, whole countries. I watched How I Met Your Mother extensively, so like all the Canada hate is right up there.
Did you just say Canada?
Canada. It's okay. I got family in Canada. I can say these things.
Okay, well, Paige does not speak for all of us.
Yeah, like
I love you all. And no way, the scene up there is growing so fast. It is growing so fast. It was small at one point, and it's growing and growing and growing, and love it. More growth, the better.
I think what better than like highlighting it with like a Discmania.
Oh, right here. Boom.
Wow, Paige.
Oh, the majority, eh? The majority of our viewers. I'm sorry. Somebody take over hosting duties.
Can we kick it? I mean, last week we had a good time. We didn't have negativity like this. We had a good time.
And he was not here. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I agree. 100%. Paige is the worst.
And this is why you lost.
He's in a little sassy little attitude.
Exactly. No one needs that in their life.
Oh, it's because you guys aren't talking. You guys just let me talk, and this is where I spiral too naturally.
You know what? Let's hear about your.
You just continue to run your mouth.
Let's just let him do it. You know what? Let's
bring back Daddy.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
I mean, I still got a couple of those pills left. I can go take one, but it's gonna be a good time.
You know what, Paige? I think we can end it with we're super excited for the team. We're super excited for the new viewership and our northern friends and the growing community up there. F you, Paige. And let's hear about your Goat Hill challenge.
It was a challenge, wasn't it, Paige?
Let's hear all about it.
Why do we have to talk about it? I don't want to talk about it. I did one amazing thing, 1.5 days of amazing, 1.5 days of absolute trash. But that's not to say I was like playing inherently bad. Um, round one, I mean, I think if you guys don't know, I shot -5. I was sitting 13th. At one point, I was 10th. Kind of tied with the Eagle and the big people, and I was feeling really good about myself and executed my game plan. The big question I think I went to Goat Hill was, can my game translate to a bigger stage? The answer was definitely yes, and I proved that round one as well as round three for 3/4 of the tournament. What happened on day two was the wind went from like 15 to 25 miles per hour to 30 to 40 miles per hour, and I kept a really good mental game for the first 10 holes. That just happened to be the adjustments I made weren't correct. So, for example, when I'm 360 out, I usually grab my FD3, but I was like, this tailwind is like ripping, so let me go down to my Ursus. I threw my Ursus 360 in that tailwind, but that wind decided to carry it 380 to a hazard. And so there was a lot of that where it's like, I thought I made the right choice. I committed to the shot. It didn't work out. And that was a lot of the first, like, I think 8 holes. And then I birdied 9. Um, and was feeling good. And then hole 10, I made the conscious decision to be like, trust myself. And that didn't work. So I had a really rough day too, where it's like, I was trying everything that I could to battle back and just not doing it as successful. And so I let that go. Like after day two, I finished strong. I went birdie, par, birdie on 16, 17, and 18 to get back down to 13 over. It was ridiculous. It was 13 over. But I felt good with that finish because I finally kind of started pulling things together. Day three, I knew I can push the cash line because I had such a good day one if I put together some things really well. So I started off with a birdie on hole one, put together a lot of pars, and then birdied hole 9, and I was -2. So then my goal from there was to be like, make it to hole 13 so that I get to the birdieable stretch and I can attack. So I was -2 moving to hole 13. What my big mistake was, and the kind of pitfall and trapdoor that I fell into, was that concept of what it means to attack. I took off my safety that I was doing because my whole approach was like 80% throws, 20% control. So I took that filter off and decided to be 100% like throttle, which put me in a lot of uh, difficult situations that I couldn't really get out of. Um, took a couple bogeys and kind of lost that -2 a little quickly. And then hole 18 was just like, I'm done with this. Let me end on a birdie. Sailed my putt, and decided to take a double on the last hole instead of laying it up because I wanted to like just try to end on a big putt. So the way I've been saying it is I shot 1.5 rounds of absolute amazing golf, um, and 1.5 rounds of absolute terrible golf, which is, sometimes the nature of the beast. I'm continuing to relearn the same lessons over and over again because clearly I'm not making the adjustments. But I'm close. I feel like I'm really close to a breakthrough. Day one, I definitely felt all of the support. Even day two, there was a lot of people that reached out to me, which I was really thankful for in some of those conversations because I just couldn't comprehend what was going on, even though I was feeling theoretically good. I think preparation went down there, did everything really right. There was a lovely massage person on standby there. Her name is Kim, so shout out to Kim who worked my quad and my bicep in order to get that actually functional. I had a huge knot in my bicep that was impacting some of my putting on day two, but yeah, that's kind of my goat hill in a nutshell. It was kind of disappointed that that's how it ended, but um at the end of the day, like I felt really good about what I was doing. It just didn't necessarily translate to success outside of those 1.5 rounds.
Yeah. I mean, let's see, after round one, it was a solid round. I bet you felt amazing.
Yeah.
Started out the second day doing well, and then it kind of went, a little downhill from there. But, altogether, it sounds like you learned another lesson. Like, what do you think was the biggest thing that held you back from getting back on track after, halfway through second round?
Halfway
Is it
through
like, was
second
it
round,
mentally?
it was definitely mental. and also dealing with some physical components. My disc literally, like I was losing my grip for the first time in disc golf, and coming from a strongman world, that's always a scary thing because if you have another lift to do and you don't have your grip, that's going to impact you, right? And so second round, I realized, and it was way too late, that my bicep was hindering me more than I thought it was. And there was times where like I would throw and like instantly look at my hand because I had no grip. And I kind of just chalked that up to like compensating on turf tee pads. I've already been on record saying like I have tough time following through on turf tee pads being a heavier guy. And so I think my upper body was compensating for that, and I didn't make that adjustment quick enough. And then by halfway through day two, it was just like, yeah, it was mental at that point to where putting's not working. I thought I was doing everything I needed to do, and it wasn't going my way. And then it was just like I had a conversation earlier about like, you know, there's luck involved, but very rarely is unlucky involved. Usually it's a skill issue and it means to get better. So I felt like I was embodying like not unlucky because I didn't want to breathe that into it. I was just like, I just need to get better in these conditions. And like I said, I thought I did, um, but clearly I didn't. And so I was trying and trying. And then when I finally rebounded, it was like starting to calm down. And I was like, the moment I got that birdie on that back end, I was like, see, I know I had to play in windy conditions. I just don't know how to play in severe wind. And so like some of those expectations I have a slow time adjusting to, because you look
Mhm.
at like after my round, you see everybody struggling. Not as many struggled as much as me, granted, but everybody was struggling that second round. And sometimes I internalize it to be, I am struggling, I am trash, I need to make the adjustment, I'm not making the adjustment. Like, and that mental spiral and fallacies and pitfalls start to get out of control, and you start believing them until you realize, and usually later than earlier, that it's not you, it's just the conditions you're playing in that are negatively impacting you. I think we have Cole Redolin at Trojan at the Resistance Open, where it's so wet and rainy. Eventually he just quits drying off his discs. Eventually he just quits trying to stay dry. And it's just like sometimes you gotta embrace those conditions. Like my mistake was I was going for the pin and trying to save birdies and pars. What I probably should have done is play aggressively for pars instead of that. So it's like instead of going 360, let me grab my putter and throw it 300, knowing the wind's going to carry it, lay up, take my par, and move on. Instead of being like, so it's like there needs to be an adjustment that happens that I'm aware of that I just wasn't aware of this weekend. So, um, definitely like I said, like I learned a lot of lessons learned, a lot of conversations to be had with Casey Bloom and Colin Hayden, who I was crashing with down there, because they struggled as well. And that sometimes was like so rewarding to me because we're able to like talk about openly and intimately about what happened on that day. And then
And you don't feel alone with the
exactly
struggles.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I
Well, I
remember
mean,
like
I don't care what Cody says about you. I'm proud of you.
no, I appreciate that. I'm definitely proud of myself. Like I said, my biggest question going down there: does my game translate? Resounding yes. My game can be successful on the MPO stage. Now I needed to continue to develop mental fortitude, focus, and carry that into what I do. So it's no longer a confidence issue. It's no longer doubting what I'm doing having the impact. It's literally get my head out of my ass and play disc golf.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. As long as you learn something from it, that's the main thing. We're always growing. As long as you grew with it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it looks like you could have won if you had a goat towel. So
No, that's the wet conditions. That's a Cole Redolin.
yeah, but you could use it to block wind as well. It's pretty big.
Can you?
So
Well, you
yeah.
just like throw your disc and run with the goat towel in front of it, kind of doing
No,
the
just
curling. Hey, we have
no, you,
Canada people, right? The curling. We're just gonna use towels to block the wind.
Are you trying to start a fight with the whole
I'm
country
trying to
tonight?
show my Canada love. Curling is a sport in Canada, and I know that.
I mean, Bought in other places too.
Not like it is in Canada. It's a
Yes. Oh, see,
lifestyle up there.
look at this. I got
It's
lots of yeses here. Yes, yes,
it's
yes.
curling
I don't
in
even
the
know what they're
winter
yesing.
and
They're
disc
just
golfing
upset.
the rest of the year.
Hurry hard. I don't know what that means.
So yeah, that was my Go Hill experience. I thought it was great. Also being back in the sun, it was kind of different. Being like, oh yeah, it's 30 degrees up here in Oregon, and it's 75 degrees, but also it's 7 o'clock, and now it's 30 degrees. So it's like 30 degrees in the morning, and then blistering hot in the afternoon.
You want to show off your new disc?
I could.
I
Could.
want to. Let's. I want to. People want to see it.
So guys,
People.
I got this. We can highlight. Let me get a better stamp. I am super pumped for this, guys. So those that don't know, I was the Oregon State champion for MA1 last year, and I worked with Grow It, who is a smaller company that kind of fundraises for stamps, focusing on partnering with Uplay, as well as raising money and growing the game in and out of Oregon. Um, so I partnered with them to design the stamp. Terminal Velocity is one of the show sponsors, as well as one of my sponsors. They have a new mold that just came out called the Cervini, which is I keep saying like Valkyrie-ish. It's like 10, 5, -2.
I thought it was -3. I thought it was going to
this
be a little
plastic
bit
was
flippier.
-2. Okay, so maybe it flies like -3, and so Terminal Velocity partnered with me to kind of celebrate my accomplishment as a state champion. There you go.
Ooh.
And so we're gonna do a giveaway. Let me see this one. We're gonna give this one away on our Facebook page. So if you guys get a chance, go, follow our Facebook page, and we'll do a fun giveaway. Probably around some maple syrup facts. But
Is that a silhouette of you?
that's a silhouette of me. When I literally
Damn.
right when I win state championships, my buddies are all there, so I kind of waved to them with my disc, and it was like absolutely stoked. But the big thing is, when I partnered with Grow It last year, we worked together to do a suicide prevention workshop at a suicide prevention conference, and so we brought in, what is it? We utilized 3 sponsors: Birdie, Terminal Velocity, and Grow It, to gain access to mid ranges, putters, and fairways. And so we served roughly around 15 youth. We brought in a local dyer, Jory Reed. So shout out to Jory Fly Dyes, who came in and taught the kids how to dye. And so in the suicide prevention workshop, we taught them disc golf. We taught them some skills that are translatable, some positive coping skills, as well as getting out into nature and playing disc golf. They got to keep everything. So all of the putters, the mids, the things were all provided to them. And so one of the goals with my team stamp, my triumph stamp, was, like I said, I'm not trying to profit off of anything, is that 100% of the profits from this is going to go towards another suicide prevention workshop in the future. So I'm not going to be profiting off of it. It's just really cool that I was able to tie my victory to something more positive, which brings us to the message of, when it comes to suicide prevention, when it comes to suicide ideations and thoughts, please reach out. There's a lot of resources out there that are available for mental health and mental health concerns. There's definitely hotlines. There's text hotlines. Um, there's Eric, which is partnering with the Disc Golf PDGA Tour. Um, it's something that I don't think is widely talked about, and it's a lot of what I spend my personal career doing and chasing. So it's like, I'm a resource if you guys are ever, having a difficult time and want to or have a conversation. I'm definitely here. So it's something that I adamantly believe in, and what better way to kind of show my love of disc golf with suicide prevention. That's my little plug. But we will be doing a conversation or a giveaway next on our Facebook page for this. And I can't thank Grow It enough for designing this. These are, like I said, the 3 sponsors for not only the suicide prevention workshop that we did, but also of yours truly, Paige Potato.
Awesome. And you know what? You had 3 great sponsors helping you. That's awesome.
Exactly.
You got
Right.
people backing you, do a good cause. That's can't beat that.
Sorry, I'm just reading chat. Yeah, I mean,
I know.
And I think when it comes to like that one, like men's feelings and emotions matter. So please don't stop talking. And I think that is such an important aspect in disc golf, especially where like we have a lot of like predominantly men that are in this sport. There's a lot of conversations that happen on that disc golf course, a lot of growth that happens. And so, yeah, I do want to reiterate that those feelings definitely do matter, um, and to feel comfortable sharing because we have a great community out there that are supportive. And I love seeing it on a bigger stage. So I don't need to talk too much about all of that. Just wanted to kind of like these literally arrived today, and I was like, we got to do a giveaway. We got to figure out like how to get these in as much hands because Terminal Velocity is doing absolutely amazing things.
Speaking of them, don't they have something on Infinite Discs right now?
I'll let you talk about. I'll let Cody talk about that. I've been
All
talking
right,
for a long
Cody.
time.
All right, Cody. Why don't you talk about this little right here? What we got? What do we got?
Well, Infinite Disc, they usually do blogs on like different manufacturers, different disc companies, and Terminal Velocity Disc was brought up this week, and they are out of Rockwall, Texas. So Zach Wendell is the owner. Started out as just like selling disc, and then got into making molds. And his first mold, the Ursus, was an overstable mid-range. Yeah, with that bear stamp, you can see it right there. So he is releasing today the Cervini, which is kind of like, from my understanding, I haven't got one yet. Zach, if you're watching, where's it at? But like Eric Oakley, you can see right there is bagging the Ursus right now, and he's got some really really cool stuff happening. So it was kind of cool to be able to work with Zach, and he sponsors our podcast, and he is doing some really cool things. So I'm really excited to get the Cervini in my hands. It's going to be like a understable, I think 10 speed. So like 10, 5, -3, 1, I would say. I haven't thrown it yet, so
Is this a
can't wait
stamp
to
for
try
it?
it. And look at that stamp right there. That is the stamp for the Cervini. So the Cervini is kind of like not a deer, not a moose.
Elk.
I'm not sure. Elk.
Elk.
So, but yeah, definitely pretty cool. I mean, if Eric Oakley's doing it, is this good?
Is
So,
this good? Yeah, that's a great
is this
question.
good? So yeah, check out go to infinitedisc.com. You can check out that blog, and you can read some of the background about Zach and the company. And then I think the new plastic that he has it out is mica, if I'm correct. The new plastic for the Cervini is mica. And I think they are going to do a signature run of the Quartz Ursus, maybe with Eric Oakley, if it says right there.
So I will say too, like Zach has been a guest on our podcast 4 or 5 times at this point. So
Over
the
the past
articles
couple of years, yeah.
yeah, for the past couple of years, that's what I mean. But
Mhm.
he's on record here. If you guys want to go back in our catalog on Spotify or YouTube and dig up some old
Spotify.
ones, he definitely talks about kind of some of his inspirations. So he's definitely all about science. He loves extinct animals, and so terminal velocity being that scientific term, but also looking at like all of the plastic being rocks, so, like all of that fun stuff. So like you have the calcite because it's naturally
Glow.
naturally glowing stone. You have granite because it's the baseline.
What's this one?
That's glass.
Glass.
Glass. I like this one because it's like it has some good flex to it and it's grippy.
And that one's got a little dome. The calcites are all like
Yeah.
flat, and that one's got a little dome, and it's That's
Yeah.
probably the beefiest one, I think.
I think the purples are the beefiest. Purple and greens, but greens are flat, not domey. And so he's just kind of a nerdy guy that loves discs, and we
Whoa.
love to support him on here because of that.
He does
Can I
love
not? Can I not say people are nerdy because they like science stuff? Like
don't
that's
put
not a hot
negative-
take. That's like legitimately the definition of
Zach,
nerdy.
if you're in here, say something. You can't just be calling people nerds.
Yeah, you can. You can call me a nerd all day.
Well, I mean, wait a second. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And he likes
Yeah,
apocalypse level things. That's what he always likes to talk about. He's just waiting for the
Doomsday.
world just to explode.
He
and
wants
he
to one
has
day see
sick
himself on a
art.
disc.
And he has sick art on all of his discs.
Who did the last stamp?
Which one?
The one for the Cervini that I just showed. I don't know.
I'm not sure who did it. Does it have
Zach,
the-
tell us. We need to know.
Let's see. Does it say? Let's see. Show on stream. Did it say?
I don't know. Can you? I don't see that.
It might have been Eric Oakley. He may have drawn. He probably drew that.
Yeah. Yep. Must have been Eric.
Eric Oakley, sign it up right now. Eric, if you're watching,
You heard it
thanks.
here first.
I will say I met like Eric at Goat Hill. Talk about 100% genuine to who he is. But his love for the Ursus definitely is genuine. Like being able to talk to him about it and how excited he was to pull it off, show it off. Casey Bloom had the calcite glow, the glow one, so he's showing that stamp. And then I had the Community Disc Golf Lounge Terminal Velocity Collaboration Ursus, so I was able to showcase that one. He was like, "Oh my god, I love that stamp! You got to get it to me." So like, talk about being like genuinely in love with like the Ursus. Oakley is definitely that guy.
Flat.
It's a glidey justice.
And not quite as overstable, especially depending on the run.
Yeah, I was gonna say that purple one is overstable.
That purple one is. The glass is the most overstable. This is like mid stability, and then the granite, especially if you beat that thing in, it goes forever.
But this would be his second disc, but he has multiple plastics in one disc, and then he has his second mold being released. That's how it starts. Pretty soon he's gonna have a whole lineup.
And every time he comes on here, he makes fun of me. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, you give him reason.
Everybody who comes on here kind of makes fun of you.
Whoa.
We have, on Spotify, we have an entire list of that being proven correct.
Hey, all I'm going to say is, what did the survey say? Paige is the worst.
I think we didn't tally up exactly, but I mean,
I'll tally it up. I have the Google spreadsheet right here. I'll get it up. I'm going to tally it up right now.
One second.
I got nothing better to do with my time.
Yeah, because we're not co-hosting right now, right? So you're like,
no, this is way more important. This is science. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. I'm not even looking at you anymore. What does this say?
Also, Simon Lizotte was everyone's favorite out of all our little statistics. Everyone's favorite disc golfer was Simon.
Everyone's least favorite was Paige.
Who has Simon in our draft? We have.
Oh,
you do, draft? Josh. I know.
Uh-oh.
Hey, actually, someone wrote all of you.
Also,
where?
And someone wrote Lurch. Someone wrote Lurch is the worst. Someone wrote Dallas is the worst.
We have equally 20% Paige and Cody, and then
20%. No, that's Josh. Exactly. Josh, because he got in the TSA elevation, and Josh did get called out, and with a reason too.
Heck yeah, love it.
If any of the people that are on the team wrote my name, I'm kicking them off.
Josh, because he got on the TSA elevation ambassadorship, and I didn't. I know you are going to have a plate full of applications, and it goes on for a long time.
You're right. You did say it earlier that I was told
someone wrote none of you are the worst. Well, that's a bold-faced lie. It's
like way at the beginning. Somebody mentioned that no, it's a lie because I told Josh that he was a horrible person.
Because I hate all of you. You're the
I will
worst.
say, out of all of our questions about to jam or not to jam, there was one person that was like not to jam, and I was like, well, that's kind of our whole shtick. Like, I don't know why they're applying when they don't want to jam.
And what they don't know is that question, it instantly deleted them. If you wrote not to jam, it just deleted it.
It was like amazing application. It was like amazingly thought out questions and answers, and it was like to jam or not to jam. And he's like not to jam, so we're like, well, gotta shred this up and move on with our lives because they don't want to jam.
What is this? Is your shredding? Are you milking a cow? What is this?
Paper.
I had you shred it up once, not.
Makes sense.
You look like from Meet the Parents.
What is it?
Can you milk me? Yeah, you're ripping like this. You were doing this motion. I'm shredding your application.
Just shredding it.
That was more like that wasn't shred. I'd say that's more of a ripping in the tearing. Wait, peanut butter is delicious. Why are we? Who's saying peanut butter isn't good? Who said peanut butter isn't good?
You.
No, I love peanut butter. I eat it out of the jar, man.
They're saying like jam, peanut butter, to jam or not to jam.
Oh,
peanut butter. Come on now, guys. You got to use that old noodle of yours.
Yeah.
See what happens when
no,
Paige
I'm not going to let Paige sit here and talk about my noodle. No, thank you. He can't even remember people's last names.
I can't remember people's names.
Instead of Canada, you said like Canada or something earlier.
Canada?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even.
Am I the only
Should
person
I
that
put
says
up with-
Canada? Please correct me.
You
like
are.
I
You are.
feel like I've heard that
Did
before.
we talk about the
No.
birdie Weapon that you kept talking about for
the
months?
Weapon?
The Weapon. Every time you
Yeah.
said that, a little piece of me died inside. I don't even
Well,
teach English,
we
man.
ruined our analytics when we talk about weapons. So we have to talk about
Whoa! See,
Weapons.
whoa!
See,
They didn't even come out with
Instantly.
a weapon, actually, did they? I haven't seen it yet.
Say Saskatchewan. I know Saskatchewan.
Nope. That's not. I think it's Saskatchewan.
Ooh, get him, Josh.
Saskatchewan.
Get him.
Saskatchewan.
Wait, someone just broke it down.
Saskatchewan.
Is that like Rask?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan?
But I had like I think the team had a lesson from Jerry Ann about how to say it. And so I'm never going to forget now.
About what?
We had a lesson.
How to say it?
Where
How to
was I?
say it?
Canada?
No, Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. And
Sask-
loonies and toonies and
That's made up money for real.
no.
Ruples,
That is-
Zoobles.
We love our neighbors to the north.
Someone called him America's hat. I don't know who.
I mean, I kind of like that. It's better than
One.
the armpit of America in Florida.
Oof.
Florida's the armpit of America? Who said that?
That's a very
It's more
known
like
thing.
the Homer Simpson said it's the wang of America. I mean, Homer Simpson, he ain't wrong.
So where we at, guys? Where we
I-
at? We're getting sidetracked beyond belief.
Chat's just derailing us.
Yeah.
But I want.
And yet I
wanna-
got blamed for last week derailing us. It was
Because
the
So
it was
chat.
last
your
week
fault.
was 100% you. You decided to get high on air, and then
No. I took a prescribed muscle
No,
relaxer.
you said you found a muscle relaxer, which
Well, yeah,
means it wasn't
I didn't say
prescribed.
who was prescribed to. It was prescribed. It's
It was
all
a
about
Tic Tac.
semantics.
It was a Tic Tac placebo effect.
It may have just been a Tic Tac my wife whittled down into a little circle.
But I will,
No, I
since
don't
we're
get
kind
angry.
of getting derailed. Let's bring us into focus. Next week, do we want to announce our episode for next week?
It's not. I don't think it's 100% verified on complete details. So let's wait until we'll wait on that one.
All right,
We're gonna have
never
some
mind.
guests though, no matter what.
We're getting back to our guest track because there's only so much of us three jamming out that we can do without getting completely sidetracked. Like tonight, All-Star is this weekend, which I'm excited about. Who team did you guys have, Ricky or Paul's? Are we-
For the All Stars, let's
All-Star.
see. Yeah, let's see, Ricky or Paul. I'm gonna go with I like Paul's team.
I like
Paul's
Ricky's
team.
team. I like Ricky's
I'm gonna go
team.
Ricky. I'm going Team Ricky. Team Rick. And then what about on the FPO? It's Own and
That's all you had to say.
did you on the press conference? All she said was she hasn't played all off season. She's just been drinking.
Like,
Hmm?
how do you not want to root for that?
Hey man,
And
I'll
any
stand
team
up for
that Owen goes on, I will follow. So it
Her
didn't really
left
matter
is
the
fantastic.
picks. If she was the captain, I'll follow that team. Plus, I think she got didn't Owen get Missy? She got Missy Gannon.
You are a huge
I
Missy
like
fan.
Missy Gannon.
Yeah. So you know what? That's 2 wins right there.
No, are we gonna do our? Oh no, I guess never mind. We can't.
What are you
Never
gonna do?
mind.
We're gonna do what?
I said we can't, so never mind. Move
What were you
on,
thinking?
Cody.
I'm still just very upset I don't have a Cervini.
I know. There's a lot of people out there. So if you guys have an idea for a giveaway, shoot it to your boy because I need to figure that out. But we're gonna get you guys a Cervini so you could.
Not me.
I mean, I got one for you. I literally have. There was only 2 like blood orange ones that came out in my box, and so I was gonna give it to my co-host. But you want to sit there and mope around and be like,
No.
"Oh,
What did you say?
I don't
No,
get
no, no,
any.
no.
I'm not. I don't want them." Like, or
What did you say earlier in the chat? I was like, John, like, did you hear that, Josh? He saved the best for himself.
oh, I did.
None
I
for
went
us.
and handpicked all of the transitional ones. Where
That's
it's
how
like,
you do it.
there's
how
one
you
that
do
went
it.
from like blue to gold, and I was like, "Oh, this one is going on the wall."
On the wall? I
Yeah.
thought you throw your disc.
I do. Oh yeah, because I throw all of these at any given time. I just have like a freaking shopping cart of discs on the field.
You know what?
Ooh.
Matty O has done that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Matty O has done that.
You don't gotta pay much. I think I don't know what the
6
conversion rate
loonies and
is.
7 toonies.
I don't know what the conversion rate is, but we can make
So
it
this-
happen for sure.
This is kind of a good segue into officially disc golf season is starting, right? We have All Stars this week, LVC, Memorial. We're getting into the heart of the season, which for us is really we survived the off season of podcasting, bringing you weekly episodes. So as we move forward, we're definitely going to have amazing Canada guests. I had to think about it for a second. We're going to have amazing Canada guests. Jerry is going to come on eventually to talk about what the heck they've been up to. But also internet connection upstairs is unstable. So we got to figure that out as well so that we can get people on here with relatively ease and access. So also when it comes to Canada, if you all have guests in mind, shoot them to us. Shoot them to Jerry. Jerry will take all the lists of who you want on the podcast and we will work our way through that list of guests. So
She
we're
could be our
gearing up
Canadian
for
ambassador.
exactly. We're gearing up for a really big 2023 season for Jammers. I'm
We didn't
actually
even
really
do this.
excited we made it through the off season, so we can start to dive into very real, hearty, gritty content for you guys. But
I love
with
how
that,
everyone's just making fun of the way you say Canada in the chat. I love it. Just
Canada,
Canada. Very
One thing
robot.
Canada.
I am gonna reiterate though, I am proud of us to making it through the off season with continuing to have like regular episodes because what happens in the off season is no disc golf. So
None.
We just
We
talk about whatever.
gotta fill an
limits-
hour of
it
nothing.
limits what you can talk about. But we made it through it. You know, there were some gems, there were some nickel-plated copper episodes.
Nickel-plated copper. What? Who says that? I've never heard that as is that a compliment? Is that a takedown?
No, it's a
that's
diss
nickel-plated
because like if you have
copper.
gold as the standard, copper covered nickel is pretty low on that list when you're gauging.
Oh, so
Yeah.
we're talking about the rarity of metal nowadays. Oh,
Yep.
oh, now we getting fancy.
But we are getting top of the hour.
So let's move to some closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Cody, start us off.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy.
you
start us
guys are
off?
you're just so upset when you're talking about the nickel-plated copper. I feel like that's a kick in the face to last week. Yeah, and you're just showing it off like, oh, look at this.
What was the kick in the face of last week? What did I miss?
Well, I don't know. You didn't pay attention.
Well, we didn't put it on Spotify because your mic was terrible. So I'm sorry I
Then
couldn't
what
listen
happened
to it
this
on my
week? I've
way
changed
home.
Not a single thing. Exactly the same. The same mic.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Don't
I
worry,
got
I'll
this
have to
amazing
edit that
one.
crap.
Was
The
it
thing
really
is,
loud?
like-
I can't hear my own speaker through the mic.
It got
Mic through the
it
speaker.
got pretty loud. But like, you know, last week's episode, that's just for the live viewers only. Because I didn't want to put anyone else through it.
We didn't even want Paige to see it.
I was there for a little bit, but then you weren't engaging me, so I'm like, I'm bored of
Oh,
this
shut
shit.
your mouth. All right, my final thoughts. I am excited. Tomorrow night, I cannot wait to watch some all-star coverage. Disc golf is back, people.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
back. I'm playing my first tournament Saturday. We have Team Jammers finally, so Paige doesn't have to annoy us anymore with it. Like, who we picking? Who we picking? So it's a great week. It's a long weekend because of President's Day. So Sunday night, I can stay up late. Disc golf is
Alright.
back.
You guys heard it here.
Paige
Cody's
needs to leave.
excited to stay up late. Josh, what are your closing thoughts?
You know what? Everyone's excited for disc golf to be starting some live disc golf. I'm very excited about it. I'm more excited to finally get this team nailed down and see how we all can help grow each other. I'm really grow it all day. I'm more ecstatic than I thought I was going to be once we finalized who we're picking because it's like now it's real. Now it's time to figure out like what projects we can do or what we can do to help each other out, and I'm super excited about that. But last thing is, last night I went and watched a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in theater. 7 out of 10, recommend. It's a horror slasher movie, based on Winnie the Pooh. There you
What
go.
theater
Fun
shows
fact.
this? Did
It's
you
like
just
one of
watch
those.
in your basement and that's what you call the
No.
theater? Like, what are you talking about?
I believe it was made in I don't know what country it was. I think it's a European country though. But they're doing like one of those Fathom events in the theaters, at least in the US. But yeah, it's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's about Christopher Robin goes off to college and leaves all of them behind, and they have to survive on their own. And he comes back, and Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, slasher horror film, B-rated film, but A for excellence.
And this is what the off season brings us. Josh Winter's movie reviews about Winnie the Pooh killing people.
It is
Tune
a
in next week.
slasher. It is.
Tune in next
like-
week. He's gonna talk about Toy Story. The
I took my
romance.
daughter with me to watch it. I took my daughter with me. We were cracking up so loud in that theater because it's
But it's
so
a horror film.
It's a slasher horror film, and it's a bunch of
It's
people
supposed to be
making dumb
campy, It's
decisions.
supposed to be like
Yeah,
Now I gotta look this up about Winnie the Pooh
You
just murdering Christopher Robin.
check it
What's
out.
it called? Winnie the Pooh and the What of Death?
blood and honey.
Winnie the
and
Pooh,
Honey.
blood in, blood out.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, my daughter and I were just like horror.
What
films,
is that?
that's the pick.
That is the poster?
Yeah.
What the heck
Yeah.
is that?
Let's zoom in on you. Hey, bring it back. Bring it back.
Oh, look, what is this, people?
Oh, we lost Paige for a second. There he is.
Here, we lost you. It was your internet connection. Don't blame
Yeah,
me.
exactly. I got blamed last week. Josh was
No.
the what? What in the world did you watch?
He writes, it's so good. I give it. I'd watch it.
You
did watch
it.
I'd watch it again. But he's already been working on a sequel, and he wants to make a whole universe of like old Disney characters that you love. Like Bambi is one of them he's going to work on to make horror slasher films of those precious characters. I am very,
Do
very
you want me to
excited.
tell you the ratings of this thing so far, or should I just leave that up to your imagination?
I mean, that's
You
kind of
know
the
what?
whole like cult hits, right? Like they're supposed to be torn apart, but it's
Evil
supposed to
Dead,
be-
yeah, I get it. Evil Dead was like the same vein. That was panned
I was thinking even
terribly.
like what was the Clowns from Outer Space or whatever, where it was like that kind of like
Dude, Killer
like
Clowns
that.
from Outer Space.
that's the whole thing. Like absolutely terrible, like review wise, but
Daddy's
that
not
candy
critical. Calm down.
campy slasher horror, like you can't be serious about this. Like that's kind of that movie.
Did it bring you
Mhm.
happiness, Josh?
It did. The acting subpar, but you get past that once you see Winnie the Pooh with a sledgehammer coming after a woman in a pool. Like, come on, it is so good.
He needs his honey. He needs it bad.
He just
So-
needs
Is
to
honey
vent.
like
He's
a
mad.
reference for drugs? All right, we're getting derailed again.
Closing
not
even on
thoughts,
muscle
not closing
relaxers.
argument and closing segment. Come on, guys.
All right.
So,
Paige.
Josh,
On
go
you.
check out Winnie the Pooh, Blood
Blood
and
and
Blood
Honey.
Out.
That's right. That's this week's sponsor, Bloody Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Check it out.
So, with me, my thoughts are a lot of lessons learned this weekend. A lot of good people met. I am super glad I went. I'm looking for growth to come from this, of course, and looking at what the next steps look like. Other than that, 2023 is going to be huge for Jammers in the Rough, and we're doing everything we can to grow it. But more importantly, we're
Huge.
doing everything we can to keep it authentic, genuine, and bringing in like-minded people. So that always starts with you all. If you guys have guests you want to hear from, let us know, introduce us, whatever you can, because we want to talk to the people you want to hear from, I guess, if that makes sense. So with that, go like and follow our Facebook page for weekly giveaways. Listen to us on Spotify. I do want to thank our lovely sponsors: Dark Ace Disc, Rare Air Disc, Black Vinyl Discs, CH Sports, Soul Crusher. But this week we're going to highlight Terminal Velocity. You listened to us talk about them earlier today. There's some videos coming out. I'm going to have some videos for you. If it's going to be an amazing roller disc, awesome. If I can get some flight out of it, even better. Support those with mental health needs and concerns. Offer a ear. Listen to them. Just show some support. Suicide prevention is important. Suicide intervention is as equally as important. Your feelings are definitely important and valid, guys. So feel free to reach out to all of the hotlines, text messaging, or myself and these lovely co-hosts. So with that, as always, keep jamming it in the rough. I'll see you guys next week.